Welcome in, guys, with another update on hot toys and collectibles. So we got photos last night as I was getting ready to bed. Sideshow dropped some photos on their website to be able to pre-order the X-23, the first figure out of the collection that they announced, kind of hinted to that we were going to be able to get. I signed up for notifications and I got the email. So here we are with the covering of it, and there's a lot to cover. I'm glad that on the last video, we were kind of like guessing some of the things that possibly might be able to do with this X-23, and they did it. So, but there's a few things that I noticed too on the photos that I do appreciate, and the little touches and stuff that I actually ended up looking at some of the photos and the scenes from her in the movie, and they actually added that. So here, let's just take in the figure, the claws, two little claws, obviously for X-23, the hair, sculpted hair. I was wondering what they were going to do with that. That was one of my kind of possible concerns on the first covering of the figure. Without any images, we didn't know anything what it was going to look like. We still don't know what the other figure is going to look like. Possibilities within hours or the next day, we might see some photos. But they chose to go with the X-23 for the first pre-release, on the first photo release, at least, that we get right now. So sculpted hair, we have some rotating eyes, but just overall, the materials, the details of the backpack, the wardrobe, jeans, t-shirt, little vest, everything that it has, the boots, the details to the boots are amazing. But yeah, let's dive into everything that she comes with. One of the things to point out is the height. Obviously, she's younger, she's smaller too in the movie too, compared to everybody else. She comes in at 10.6 compared to other figures coming in at like 12 inches, you know, pretty standard. So she's going to be just about 1.5 inches or so less than your other figures, which gives her that smaller feel for sure. And as you like pose her, if she's kind of like hunching, you can kind of get her even a little bit lower. The separate rolling eyes are going to be nice. The two sculpted hairs. Now this gives me a bit of a Thor. If you guys have Thor from Endgame, that's the only figure that I have that I can compare it to. When it comes to the sculpted hair, feels a little dangerous that this is going to break, but at least from that figure from my Thor, it's not, it doesn't bend, it doesn't break, I should say, but I dropped it too when I was posing it, and so it's been safe. Now, I would assume that that's kind of like the same concept that they're going to be doing there. You can do both, and you can obviously have it with just standalone, which is what this looks like from the front. And the action movement of the hair looks really good. We're going to see a lot of photos that Hot Toys went ahead and took with that action pose of the hair. So I think obviously using this a bit more would be great, depending on the pose, of course. But I'm gonna skip everything real quick and talk about this Juggernaut helmet. I talked about it in that other video, saying like, you know, one of the biggest scenes she had in my books was the fight against Juggernaut. She was like the key to get the helmet and give it to like Deadpool and Wolverine. So having her in that scene of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, I said, hey, maybe they include that accessory for her. And I'm glad that they did. That is such a big W for collectors. You know, nice little touch. You can add it. You can give that helmet to now Wolverine. You can give that helmet to Deadpool if you have them. There's so much you can do with these little accessories that she comes with, which again, I said in that other video, this is great because if you're collecting the other pieces of Deadpool Wolverine movie, now you can kind of like do little different stories, different photos, different videos of this figure, and you can place them on your shelf or different with different things. Like every time you decide to move something, it's going to look different. It's going to look like a completely not different figure, but completely different look. So super excited, but of course, okay. I wanted to cover that really quick because when I saw those photos this last night, I was like, ah! But you get a backpack. Now that backpack, you can kind of it's cool because you can probably add it to other figures too. And her iconic glasses from the Wolverine movie. So those were huge. Interchangeable claws. So notice how open hand, closed fist. She's got two of them there. And then you can kind of see all the also open hands without the claws and closed fist. The diorama, I don't think this lights up, but looks really cool. I'm always into like figures that include diorama. That's, man, I'm big on that because I can't have enough dioramas. Like for me, for like I have a good collection, but I have no dioramas. Like for some reason, at least the figures that I've collected have none. And so anytime I see one, I'm like, yes, I want more. I want more. I'm probably going to end up to a point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. I don't care for more. I have too many. But right now, I just want more. This little claw on the boot is such a nice touch. I forget people that collect DC, the Joker, I believe, has a little bit of a knife in the boot right now too. I've seen some photos and videos of people covering that and talking about that. So they did that here with the X-23. And she's got a very different look. One of the things with her eyes, I really love what they did with the eyes. There's a lot of expression in the eyes, but the glasses both look amazing. I don't know what I am going to pose and how I am going to pose her. I guess we can definitely have different ways of posing her, but let's keep looking at some of the photos. This was everything that included the hair, man, the posability with the action or animation of the hair looks really good. Like, again, it gives her vibes of like air flowing through her, action posing, like she's moving forward. You know, that's always giving me that vibes. She does with the glasses. I feel like she looks younger. Without the glasses, she gets more of her age. But here we have her posed on the diorama, knee bent. She's got the claw on her boot. Claws are out for action. Backpack, claws out. Foot on the helmet. Really nice pose. Would love to duplicate that. That's a really good pose. Again, bended knees. I think. One of the things I wanted to talk about. You see her elbows. They're not exposed. I don't think we have a back look of the elbows on this. I don't know. I'm a little worried about that because if you bend the elbow too much, what is that going to do to the back of the elbow? Is that going to create like a wear to the materials because they're not, the joints are not exposed? I don't know how that's going to wear. So you might be a little bit cautious on how long you pose. But once we get that figured in hand, and if more people get that figured in hand, some people do some testing to their figures to like put them in like very difficult positions where it does wear on to this figure. But I don't know. I mean, I do some, but I won't leave it in that figure in that like action pose for like weeks, and I can't. I'll do it for the photos, and then I'll strain it out, and then it goes back into the museum pose for me. But here you can see the height comparison between the two figures of Wolverine coming in at 12 inches. She's at 10.6. Here's a really good close-up of the separate rolling eyes, which is really nice. And then we got the back of the hair, the sculpted hair, which, again, my experience with this, like I said, with Thor, it's okay. It's not an issue. The claws, the boots, this is an entire portion of the boot. So I think all the motion you're going to be able to add out of this or get out of this is going to be around the knee. I don't see anything unless it's an extremely flexible material right here. It looks like I don't know if it's the bending or the movement coming from the knee. It looks like it's bending too. Maybe if we look at some of the other photos up close. Here we get an up close photo of the diorama and the helmet on the diorama. Some like flames. I'm really liking the diorama. And yeah, I don't think so. I think that movement was coming from the knee. But overall, guys, let me know. I mean, again, if you're a collector of the Deadpool Wolverine figures, X-23 is a big one. All of them are big. I can't just say this one's bigger than the other ones. But at least we get the first images of it. We RSVP for notifications on this figure. So we got the email last night, and it's on pre-order for $265. Being the first one, it says that might come out shipped around March. So shipping starting between now and March of 2026. That's a long time. But if you are on the pre-orders for a lot of these figures, it's actually pretty good. The spread and gap between them. I mean, if you get hit with all of them and you're just like, hey, buy now, damn. But we still have a pre-order on Deadpool Kid And I don't know if we're going to be getting the Deadpool kid before the X-23. So that's already a pre-order. And there's going to be other figures coming out. So, I mean, if you have the funds to be able to get them all, you know, obviously there's no brainer. You're just going to pre-order away. But if you're going to be handpicking which one to do, which one to go with, I don't know. This one's tough. This one seems like a good one to pick. But there's so many more exciting figures coming out, like Gambit's coming out, like Blade. I mean, you name it. Like, you know, whether you pass up on X-23, this one's tough, man. I don't know, for the people that just don't collect specific movie figures, is this a figure for you to collect? I'm just like hyped because I love Deadpool and anything Deadpool related, and this kind of sprinkles onto some of those figures, right? Because of the movie now. And I love the diorama. I love the accessories. I love that. And one thing too, very quickly, I know this is getting too long, but I was thinking to myself, because I thought that, hey, maybe that would be super cool if they added the helmet from Juggernaut, right? Now I'm thinking, since they did add the helmet from Juggernaut, notice how he always, like, the heroes are always good, right? But when we see Sideshow's back history of like creating these collectibles and these figures, they create the heroes, but they also create some villains to go along with it. So now that we got the villain's helmet, or at least one of them, will they go out and start releasing some of the villains from this movie? I'm actually really pumped to see if they're gonna go ahead and do that. Woo! If they start doing that, man, what are we gonna do when it comes to your collection? Are you gonna start getting the villains along with it to create different scenes, to go head to head, you know, on the fight? There's a lot of fight scenes, you know. Oh man, they can go really deep into this movie, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, making a huge ton of money, of course, but also making a huge amount of figures for us, the collectors, to collect and to pick up and to have fun with, you know. But yeah, let me know what you're going to be doing on this one. I think I am going to do a early pre-order on this one. You know, we still have, man, like I said, Kid Pool is out, still hasn't been shipped and still on pre-order. And we still have the Wolverines, both, the one full suited and the one with the open, no, like, I guess battle damage, or no, he had some battle damage, but no top, that's exposed, and he has like one of the swords. I think I might have to pass up on that one just because they announced these extra figures, and I feel like 2 Wolverines I don't need. I think I can just do with the one Wolverine. But also, guys, if I don't know if I can show you really quickly, Marvel. Here we go, Marvel X-23. See if we can go into the toys. They announced the unmasked Deadpool. So talking about multiple Wolverines, you can't have enough Deadpools. That's for me. Yeah, you know, and if you're a Wolverine fan, of course you're gonna be like, you can't have enough Wolverines. But for me, you can't have enough Deadpools. So they announced the unmasked Deadpool. You can RSVP. We went ahead and RSVP for this. And so that's going to come out, and that's another figure. And this one's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, coming in probably closer to that 300, if not a little bit more. It's we'll cover that on a separate video, but just wanted to mention that I saw that too as I was looking at Sideshow's website. Yeah, still to come. Elektra, Blade, Gambit. Oh my goodness, Gambit is the big one. I think that one is probably the one I'm most hyped about. It's going to be Gambit for me. Take care, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hope you enjoy me covering these figures. I'm excited, man. I'm super excited for these figures. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.